Yep.
Well, welcome everyone to our Saturday call. Really excited today to be able to talk to you about all the great stories that we have with Simple to Lose. And I started about, I think it's been, oh geez, I don't know, 5 years since I first met Glenn Beck and really got him and his staff looking at what we do with Simple to Lose, and it's been a great journey. We've helped thousands and thousands and thousands of people with their help that are his listeners, and you're going to be able to listen to a few of those stories today. I was able to listen to a few of them yesterday, and it's very inspiring. I love hearing the stories. I've been doing this now for 14 years. Never get bored of hearing the stories. I love the transformations, and you're going to be able to hear some terrific health transformations today of people that we've helped through Simple to Lose, and really help transform their health and their lives. And that's what we do with Simple to Lose. And it's been a great, like I said, a great journey. We helped Glenn's staff lose over 1,000 pounds on the program, and we have more and more people still coming on to the program and getting great benefit from it. So hopefully these stories will be inspiring to you as they are to me. And let's get started with them. So first we have Peter. Peter, are you there?
Just a second, Brian. Just a sec. Okay. Just a sec.
And we have my brother Troy helping me out here with the technology part here. So we're going to get Peter on the line here, and you're going to be able to see his picture in just
Peter's there. Go ahead, Peter.
All right.
Yes.
Peter, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, Peter. How you doing?
Oh, fine. You'll have to hold on a minute. I'm entering my breakfast into the dashboard.
Okay. All right. Well,
blueberry oatmeal. Excellent. Here we are. Good morning, everyone.
Well, Peter, I'm sitting here looking at your picture. You look a little different in your second picture over here on the right.
Yeah.
Tell me I
found out I was suffering from rectal cranial inversion, and your program helped me resolve that problem.
Great. Well, tell us your story and how you got involved with the program.
Well, a little about me. I'm 57, closing in on 58. I'm a real estate developer and executive. Done that all my life. I'm semi-retired, at least until that imbecile in the White House is gone, and then I'll think about working on the economy. I've been a big Glenn Beck follower. Met him a couple times. Looked at the commercials, kept seeing Jeffy withering away, and I thought, that's kind of interesting. And then I kept thinking about it, and then some things were happening in my life, and I'll go through it real quick. Hold on to your seats here. My dad was a big band leader in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and an actor. Most of you, if you're around my age, you go, that guy? I know him. He and my mother was a nightclub singer, and that's how she met my dad. She eventually went on to work for NASA, was one of the leading people in the Apollo 7 program. She died as a result of mesothelioma, which she got from that program. And in her dying days, 3 years ago, she said she wouldn't have it any other way because she did amazing things for this world. As a result of my mom and dad, I got to have dinner at my house with people like Neil Armstrong and Wernher von Braun. And, when you could go ahead and say that your mom and dad were introduced to each other by Dean Martin, it's kind of a cool thing. My dad died a few years ago. My mom died a little after that. My voice is breaking up a little. My younger brother was a career Army officer, tank battalion commander, lost his life as a result of injuries in Afghanistan. So I was suffering from a lot of depression as a result of loss, and I was trying to eat my way out of it. And, that doesn't really work. I'm sort of the empirical test of what happens with a a large pizza that you eat yourself, wash it down with a beer, and then you get Haagen-Dazs for dessert. Well, any of you ever seen the 2006 movie with Kevin Costner called The Guardian, where he's a Coast Guard rescue swimmer? Well, at the end of that movie, there's a very touching thing, and it made me think a lot. And that was, he turns to his wife and he said, I rescued a man from a flipped over boat in the high seas in the North. And he was, in an effort to try and survive, he was dragging his wife under. And he had to punch this man so he wouldn't drown his wife. And he turned to his wife in the movie and said, I found out that I was actually that man. And I finally decided, as it applied to my wife, I was that man too. And then about a week before Glenn Beck came out to the belly of the beast, when you believe in the Constitution and the Second Amendment, you live in the San Francisco Bay Area, it's a lonely existence. And Glenn came out here and was speaking at the Stanford Medical Center. His assistant sent me an email. I went there and we talked for a little bit, and I asked about the program. And I said, I think I'm about ready for this. And he said, you got to do it. And it was him sort of tipping the ball into the basket on a basketball court for me. He's an amazing, powerful individual who I have a lot of respect for. And 2 weeks before that, my wife's sister, died from being morbidly obese. And, it's sort of a perfect storm. This all came together. I started the program on my birthday, April 2nd of this year. Luckily, thank God my mom didn't make me an April Fool. And here I am today. In 7 months, I lost 120 pounds. I focused on the program like a laser. And, this really, for me, wasn't a journey of weight loss. This was a journey of reclaiming my life. And in my mind, making my wife proud of me again. And I'm a walking billboard for the success of this program. And people just fall all over themselves when they see, where I was, where I've gotten back to. I fit into all my skinny Armani suits and everything, and custom shoes. I could wear my wedding ring again. I could fit in my antique cars without taking a running start to get through the door. I couldn't drive my Jaguar because there was no room between my belly and the steering wheel. The plane goes faster because it's not carrying the extra weight. It's like walking around without carrying half a mother-in-law on my back everywhere. So, God bless this program. God bless. And let's all say a prayer also to Glenn Beck and all his people for their amazing work with the Nazarene Fund. And when I was ready and called the website and sat around a day waiting for a health coach to call, God sent me my health coach, Paul Hansen. And he's an amazing partner in helping me reclaim my life. And I want to thank him too. I know he's on this call. Him and his lovely wife, I met them about a month ago in person. He lives down near the Reagan Library. Hopefully we get Ted Cruz. He's like a young Ronald Reagan. I was down there for a funeral for the Greek Orthodox priest who's known me since I was 5, who passed away, and I was assisting their family. And on the way back, I dropped in and met Paul and his wife, wonderful people. And that's my story, Brian.
That's awesome. Well, Peter, thanks for taking us through that adventure. And you definitely had a interesting life. And when you were at that point of your most heaviest weight, and that and comparing that today, what would you say in just a few words? What would you say? How do you feel differently, or what would you say to that?
Well, an hour ago I ran 2 miles. I couldn't have walked a mile at my highest weight. My picture you see there is actually 8 days after starting the program. And in those 8 days, I lost 12 pounds.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've reclaimed my life. I've reclaimed personal responsibility. I mean, I was running the risk of becoming a progressive Democrat. God, could you imagine that?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
But no, so well, thank you so much, Peter. I mean that you definitely reclaimed your life. And congratulations to you and your coach for helping you out. But
yes, my coach, Brian, I refer to as Yoda.
Okay.
And thanks for having me on this. Sharing this story of mine is wonderful, and I appreciate being asked to speak here.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Peter. Okay, next we have Tom. Tom, are you there? There's a picture of Tom. Tom, you there?
Just a second, Brian.
All right, Troy. We'll get Tom,
I just a second here. Okay, Tom's there.
Tom, you there?
Yep, I'm unmuted now.
All right. Well, Tom, take a look at your picture here. Looks like you had a great transformation. Let's hear your health journey, your story. And I think we have somebody else that's whispering in the background. We got to mute.
No, we got it. We got it, Brian.
Okay. All right. Hey, Tom, you're up.
Okay. All right. Well, I started the program back in 2014, started in February. And at my highest point of weight, I was 297. Wow. And I had gotten down to about 282, 287, somewhere in there when I started the program. And I am now down running between 200 and 205 and still wanting to get down a bit past that into the 190s. So that's where I'm headed for. I'm not sure what photos you got there. I imagine the first one that you have has me with without wearing any dark glasses, and I assumed that maybe the last one that you have, the most recent one, maybe I am wearing dark glasses.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And if you notice my first photo, my eyes maybe appear to be somewhat closed. Just to let you know, I am blind. And I've been working with my health coach, Wendy Hursting, and she's just been wonderful to work with. She's very positive in her approach and very encouraging. And I found that to be quite helpful as well. Part of the issues that I have is that I was not able to really access the information from the book, The Habits of Health. But I was able to get the audio book from Dr. Anderson that he had written on designing your optimal health, and read that, and that was really helpful as well. And a little bit about me. Reason for getting into the program when I did was primarily one word: Obamacare, and realizing that under Obamacare that we're really not going to get very good care. And ultimately, they're going to want to, get rid of us at some point if the cost becomes too much. And as he says, at some point you're just going to have to take the pill. So I thought, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start taking control of my life and get myself back into some sort of shape. And I was on a couple of medications. I was on lisinopril for high blood pressure. It was only 10 milligrams, but that was, like I say, only for about a month and a half, 2 months, and I was able to get rid of that medication altogether. And my blood pressure is fine. And my triglycerides, however, were totally out of whack. They were up to 1,100. And so now I'm totally off of that medication too. So the only thing I'm taking really for that kind of health issue is lovastatin, and I'm still taking that, and my doctor won't let me get off that for some reason. But everything else seems to be working fine. And had the opportunity this past year, I actually ran for city council here in Evansville and didn't get elected or nominated. And shortly after that, about a month later, I was in Israel for 8 days and just had an amazing time there. And when I heard the stories about Simple to Lose on Glenn's program, of course, as Peter was saying, the story about Jeffy, since I can't see Jeffy, I had this impression he must weigh at least 1,100 pounds. And, the way that they still talk about him, I'm thinking, my God, is he still about maybe 750 instead? But the stories were really cool, and I just want to get started on that program as soon as I really realized that, number one, I was able now to afford it as well, and just continue with it. And it's been a really good journey.
Wow. Well, Tom, thank you so much for sharing your story, and you look a whole lot different there. You're feeling a lot different. You off all these medications, you've just got to be feeling like $1 million.
Yeah, all wrinkled and green. No, but really, it does feel better. When I used to walk to work, the outside of my calves would hurt and just burn, and it was just not comfortable to walk. My knees would also burn. Within just a few weeks of starting on the program, that burning sensation just left.
Wow.
And so walking out without any pain. And, unfortunately, the only thing I have left now is osteoarthritis in my right shoulder. Nothing that we can do about that with the program, but other than that, everything else is going well.
Take care of everything, Tom.
Well, we can hope.
We can hope.
And one other thing, yeah, the other thing is too, is like Peter was saying, is that I have experienced periods of depression too, but I've noticed since being on the program that I don't experience those to the extent that I have, and able to really to get out of those feelings pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, your health definitely affects all areas of your life, your physical health, and it affects mental health too. But thank you so much, Tom, for sharing your story, and congratulations, and look forward to your continued success with the program.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Chris. So we got Chris's story here. Nope, that's Chris McDonald. Where's Chris's?
I'm right here. Yep. Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody on the West Coast is doing well, and everyone on the East Coast too, and in the middle as well.
Hey, Chris. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks a lot.
Good. Well, tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, I had back in 2011, I had lost a job, and I was, I'm at home trying to, pound out tons and tons of resumes and references and what have you, trying to find something. And I was listening to Glenn, and Glenn was talking about how we have to sometimes hit bottom before we see kind of where things are. It took another couple. I wound up getting a job, and my job put me really out in the front. I was a golf professional, and I was right out in front of the public, and I wasn't really pleased with my size, but I would try this, that. I'd, try to run a little bit or whatever. 2014, 13. I started on the Take Shape for Life. Actually, it was 2014. I'm sorry. Got up with Margaret, who's my health coach, and finally said, I'm gonna put the bit between my teeth, and I'm gonna do this. And this was in September of 2014, and just really, when I was actually in the Coast Guard for 7 years, and a lot around to the search and rescue folks. And I had a captain tell me one time, he said, people are going to look at you at your appearance. He said, you can't be a golf professional if you're, you can't look like a professional if you're huge. And he was right. I mean, I wasn't very big at the time, but he was, wanting things to tighten up and this, that, and the other. Well, at any rate, I did not like the way I looked. I did not like the fact that I was wearing a 50 coat and a 44 pant. I didn't like the fact that, I was 3 knee operations into probably knee replacement coming up. And as I said, I've had a very kind benefactor that said, we're going to get you fixed up. And she and my mom got together and really worked with me, said, all right, we're going to do this. So we committed. And like I said, got with Margaret McGrath, who's my coach, as I said. And we got it going. And in the first month, I think I lost 15 pounds. And then it progressively got better, and I started losing more and more and more. Got around the beginning of 2015, and you know, I'd lost 45 pounds, and I was feeling better. I was wearing nicer clothes. Everything was going down, and then finally, around the middle of June, I had lost 95. So I'd gone from 265 to 170, and just committed, nose to the grindstone. Like the other two gentlemen had spoken of. I was able to start running again. I run now 2 to 4 miles a day. I'm able to. I play. I increased distance with my drives. With my golf. That I do play with the members and what have you. And it's really, it's truly and truly, changed my life. I'm a complete different person, mind, body, and soul over this. And if I just wouldn't have been, paying attention to Glenn when he first came out with it, I never would have thought of this or done it. And so it took a bad situation that turned into something that helped move me down the line and make me the better person that I've become because of it. And I have people ask me all the time, Chris, what happened to you? What happened to you? And I tell them, I lost 2 or 3 third graders or whatever. But it was, it's been a good trip. I still believe in the program. I still tell people about it. And I just, I thank God and thank Glenn and, all you guys would Take Shape for Life to get everything squared away with me. And I can't say thank you enough.
Well, that's awesome, and thank you for joining and changing, transforming your health, which obviously has transformed different areas of your life, like you mentioned. And I imagine your golf game's better.
Oh yeah, I don't have to swing around a tire like I once was. It's not necessarily been problematic, but I take the club back and I come through the swing, and it's like, well, wait, there's nothing there to stop it now, so the club's able to release like it's supposed to.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your story and sharing it with others.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm on the high mountain on this. People who've not seen me in a year, don't even recognize me. They just know me from my voice. And so it's just it's kind of a literal resurrection rebirth, if you will. And I just, attitude all the way to clothes to everything has changed. And I just can't, thank you guys enough.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for being on today, Chris.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay. Next we got Linda. And I think the picture we showed before, I think, was of Linda. Linda, are you there?
Yeah. Hi, Brian. How are you?
Good. I think we get a little bit echo there, but I guess there's a picture of you and your husband and daughter, right?
Yes.
Okay. And
yes,
then,
we're all on the program.
Yep. And then we got your before here, and Rick, go ahead and show the oh, there we go. Wow. That's pretty impressive. So tell us about your story with your family and how you got on and really what the difference is now compared to where you got them.
Okay, I'd be glad to. My name is Linda Habers-Reitinger. I'm 65. I own a machine embroidery business in Marrero, Louisiana, and that's right outside of New Orleans. And we have the best food in the world. That's one of the reasons we're so fat. My husband is Gary. He's 69, and we've been happily married for 48 years. We're both basically retired, and just after the first of the year, we decided to try and give Simple to Lose a chance to help us out. I've been a big fan of Glenn for many, many years, and I'd seen the commercials for Simple to Lose on the Blaze, but I really didn't think we could afford the program because we're both on Social Security, and that's most of our income, except for the little bit that my business takes in. We've had weight issues for years. Both of us have had gastric bypass. Gary actually has had 2 gastric bypass surgeries. Our highest weights before surgery, He weighed 510 pounds, and I was, at the time of surgery, I weighed 315 pounds. And since we've had the surgeries, we've been up and down, but, you know, at the start of Simple to Lose, I actually weighed 244 pounds. So I was down some, and Gary was 380, and that was in February. Our daughter, she's 45. Her name is Rhonda. She'd had a gastric sleeve for weight loss, but she decided to join as well. Her weight before surgery was 304 pounds, but her reason had more to do with her dad. That's why she joined. She lives in Baton Rouge now, and when we go there for visits, Gary uses those as an excuse to break any diet we're on. So Rhonda figured if she was a part of the plan, he wouldn't have any more excuses. So we started in February. Since then, Gary has lost 120 pounds. I've lost 68 pounds, and Rhonda's lost 26. So for a total of 214 pounds since the first part of this year.
Wow.
We not only lost weight, but we've saved money doing it. I was worried about the cost. Well, we actually spend less now. Not to mention the fact that we get a free health coach. Michelle is our coach, and other staff members have walked us through the ups and downs, and they've been there whenever I needed help. Having all of our meals planned out, we no longer buy fast food or junk food. That's how we're saving money. Since the plan is so healthy and we eat every 2 to 3 hours, we don't get hungry, so we don't feel like, you know, we want to cheat. Michelle's coaching has shown us how this isn't really a diet like the other diets we've been on, and it's more like a lifestyle change. And honestly, I know I'll be on this for the rest of my life, and I'm sure the other two will as well. We're so very close to our goal weights now, but at the beginning, nothing about our lives was active. Since his retirement, my husband just sat around and watched TV all the time, and I've got back problems and knee problems, and I had just gotten over a really bad spell with my back when we started. So we were sort of almost bedridden. We can definitely say we were sedentary. But anyway, at first, the most I could do was a small amount of work in my shop. That was it. Gary could hardly go to the grocery store without a motor cart. Now we have more energy than we've had in ages. Gary's changed so much. I think he's probably the biggest change in activity. Rhonda's boyfriend was recently here for my birthday. They came down from Baton Rouge to take me out for my birthday, and he commented that it looked like Gary was walking around like he was floating, like he wasn't hardly touching the ground anymore. He just jumps up and goes and does and goes up and down the steps and everything. And he said it just made all the difference in the world. He couldn't believe how big, you know, the change was, because he hadn't seen him in a while. And now, as far as other people, my customers, they hardly recognize me. And when we go anywhere and we see people we know, we get compliments. They hardly know who we are. Our health has improved. Gary's able to reduce his blood pressure medication to half. And when our doctor took my blood test just recently, he called me personally to tell me how great everything was. He even said my cholesterol level looked high, but when he looked at the numbers, it was because the good cholesterol was so high and the bad was so low. He just had to call me and tell me. So he was skeptical at first, the doctor, but now he's a believer in the program.
Well, that's great.
But anyway, my life has completely changed in so many ways, but not only did God use Glenn to show me Simple to Lose, but before that, God used Glenn to convict my heart. And over time, I went from being an atheist to accepting Jesus. And I just thank God for Glenn and Michelle. He brought both of them to me and my family, and God has given me exactly what I need for my life, and I am so very grateful.
Wow, that is a great story, and thank you for sharing that. Not only physical transformations have occurred, obviously mental and and spiritual transformation.
Absolutely.
You've had.
Absolutely.
That's a great story, and keep on sharing with other people and inspiring other people. It's a great. I love your before and after family pic.
Thank you.
Definitely, you definitely have a lot that has gone on in your life just in the last year.
You don't know the half of it.
Probably not. But thanks for sharing what you did share, and that is it's truly amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And next we're going to have actually your coach, Michelle. Michelle, are you there? There's the picture of Michelle before and after.
Good morning. This is Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
That's such a great story of Linda shared and of her family and you've been able to help so many people out with their health. But I'm looking at your picture and you lost a little bit of weight there too.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this program. You know, my picture, I did have 20 pounds to lose, but the beauty of this program is it doesn't matter how much or how little you have to lose. The program works, which is great.
Right. And it's not necessarily about weight loss either.
No, it's not. It's not. It's far more than that. It goes into far more than that. But as far as the weight goes, my story, I wanted to lose 20 pounds, and I had asked Glenn about the program, and he said, because I had heard about it, and I asked Glenn about it, and he told me about the program, and I started the program. But my story starts basically over 20-some years ago. I became a widow unexpectedly one day, and I was left with a 4-year-old all by myself. And so 20-some years later, I noticed that my weight started gaining, and I didn't want that to be, because I didn't want to, gain so much weight and then have health issues and die possibly, and then have my son be without a mother or a father. So I decided to make that decision to lose the weight. So I lost the weight, and it's been great. It's been super. So this morning I decided to, when I got up this morning, I decided to put on a shirt that I thought was perfect, and it says, "Not to act is to act." Glenn helps a lot of people in his work, as well as me helping people in my work.
Yep.
I don't know if you know this, because it wasn't said, but Glenn's my brother. And so my brother and I think that it's great that with our 2 different jobs that we're able to help each, to intertwine our jobs and help people like Linda. After hearing those amazing stories about just now, it would be a shame not to act by calling the person that had invited them to the call, because to me, not to act by not calling that person would be a shame, because, some people think that what they're doing, that there is no hope. Well, there's hope with Simple to Lose. So I would hope that people would want to call the person who invited them on this call and get more questions and to get the answers that they need, because Simple to Lose is awesome. And I thank Glenn for introducing me to the program, and to Brian, and to all that are involved. So make that call.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle. And you're exactly right when you say not to act is to act. And I hope that those that are listening to this and to the recording of this, because this will also be a recording, do act and call the person that invited you to listen to this, and look at what we have to offer, and look at what can be improved in your life. We have so much to offer with Simple to Lose, and we've helped so many people. And I never get tired of hearing the stories. I mean, these are amazing stories. Until yesterday, I hadn't heard any of them, and I love the stories, and they're of real transformation. People transforming their lives in a lot of different ways, and we really can help you as well transform your life. So thanks to all the speakers today. Thanks, Michelle, Linda, Chris, Tom, and Peter. And this has been a great call. And again, get with the person that invited you. on this, to listen to this, and learn more about what we can do to help you. And with that, let's go ahead and end the recording.